Yeah, speaking of my Nintendo, I got introduced via GameCube, and the first ever Nintendo game I played was Wind Waker. I actually didn't play it though. My dad was the one playing it. I was kind of like backseat gaming because I was like, I don't know, 4 at the time.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah.
So I have a quick story on that. I know this isn't Nintendo related, but
Hmm.
there was my dad and I used to play this like Desert Storm game on our PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And like we had multiple controllers, so I
Hmm.
would hold one. And like he would be playing the game and I would be, mashing buttons on the controller. And I'm like, why isn't the tank doing anything when I'm driving it? And he's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe you're just, pressing the wrong buttons. Turns out it was a single player game
But
and I
oh,
was never
you were
playing
never actually
at
playing.
all. No.
That reminds me because my dad was like, oh, because he was still in a Nintendo and he got Twilight Princess right when it came out, and I'm like, oh, I want to play. So he did the same exact thing. He gave me an extra pair of nunchuck and the Wii remote, and I'm just like, yeah, I yeah, I just remember that.
Very
And
sad.
I wasn't actually doing anything, but then I remember the final boss battle. He actually gave me the remote, and then I realized, oh, I wasn't actually playing because I died immediately. But yes, backseat gaming since I was, I'd like to say 4. I don't even know. But then when I was of age, like I was gonna say like 8-ish, I did go back and finish Wind Waker, first game I actually ever completed. And then I begged my parents for a DS, and I remember they were both, my dad was all for it, my mom wasn't because I didn't know how to read. I actually wasn't 8; it was like 5, 6-ish. I don't know.
I was gonna
Uh,
say you can't read at 8 years
yeah,
old.
I do remember it was that because then we got a Wii as well, and the same thing happened again. Um, but yeah, I got a DS first. I didn't actually. The first game I got, I'm trying to remember on the DS was what's that one game where you kind of like it's not Scribble Knots. It's an
Is it like
RPG.
the doodle or
Oh
like
yeah, it's like a doodle thing. It's the RPG kind of game where you basically create your own characters and you draw to life. I think that's what it's called.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
asking the
you
wrong
don't know.
person.
No, I'm pretty sure some people listening know what it is. But no, yeah, Draw to Life was my first DS game, and then I actually got Black and White from my cousin, in a different state, not the one that got me, uh, an anime DVD. But fun fact, it wasn't actually mine. I borrowed it from her, and then I just took it when I traveled back
Yep,
to.
sounds about right.
Yep. And then I was like, oh no, I actually have it. So I just kept that, finished that. I remember in Black and White, I global traded my superior, probably my best Pokemon, for a hacked Embor. But this guy was like, oh yes, let me give him 0 IVs and EVs, like worst IV EV Pokemon, but let make him level 100. So I was like, oh, I got a good deal. I traded for, a level 100 Embor for, my level 60 superior. I take it to the Elite Four in a
Yeah.
garbage. Yeah.
Wonder Trading was I got a funny enough, my black and white games, I don't own them anymore. I actually sold them to our third roommate.
Hmm.
And then he, wiped them so we could play them.
Yeah.
And then he sold them, and I very much regret selling my games because through a Wonder Trade, I got a hacked Umbreon. It was
Hmm.
shiny, level 100. I'm gonna assume perfect IVs because this single Umbreon could like sweep teams on its own. I know for sure it had Moonlight, which regens health, and that was, I mean, just like a 1v6 and it would be a close battle.
Hmm.
I mean, it was like if there's one regret I have for selling those games, it's losing that Umbreon.
Yeah.
It had like the Japanese name too, so it was like
Hmm.
top tier.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, that's me with the 3DS. I actually sold all my games, all my 3DS games, and I regret it. But I still kept my 3DS, which is the like Zelda, the limited edition Ocarina of Time Zelda one. But yeah, so after I got my DS, I got the Wii, or I actually had the Wii before I got the DS. And all I remember is playing Brawl, and specifically the stage builder mode, which I'm disappointed it isn't a grid light system in Ultimate, but that's whatever. Then I got the Wii U, I wouldn't say it's the big. Okay, as much as everyone hates the Wii U, I honestly think is the best party device ever. I remember playing Nintendo Land, and there's hide and seek, there's Luigi's Ghost Mansion, best party game console ever. Like the Switch is second to it, but still, you could do so much interesting stuff.
What?
Yeah,
No, no.
you could do so much
I mean,
more.
okay, granted, I've never owned a Wii U,
Hmm.
so I can't like really compare the two, but I think Switch is better.
No. Yeah, see, that's why, because everyone's like brushes off the Wii U because he's never owned it, and then you just like, oh, it was a mega flop. No, you actually had to own a Wii U. I know I was the first person to play Splatoon. Everyone got back on Splatoon 2, but no, I was an earlier adopter, I'd like to say. Yeah, and then I got the Switch on launch. I remember because I sold my Wii U after all that praise. And yeah, I think I sold all my Wii and Wii U games and the Wii. I sold the Wii U, Wii, and all my games and nunchuck controllers just to barely have enough money to get the Switch. And that's all GameStop pricing. Oh yes, bring my catalog of games. You get like $80.